Knock it off, Cameron. Doesn't do that the whole time I'm setting up. But the second I start, it wants to act up. So loud. What's up, Melissa? Just getting rid of some yarn. This is going to be a Sidewinder beanie. When it's done, see how it's got these little diagonal slanties going on it. It's like a new pattern I was learning how to do. It's fine. I probably wouldn't do it again this way. If I were going to do it, I'd make some adjustments. Use a bigger yarn and probably a color changing yarn. It's kind of too subtle for a small monochromatic yarn. What's yarn making? Oof. Wait, I wasn't listening since I was thinking of the pun. What is it? Sidewinder beanie, it's called. It's going to be a beanie. No fish. Sorry, I know. Yeah, Sidewinder. It's like a standard knit beanie, but then it's got these little carried lines. You can see they like slant up the side here. So they're gonna like spiral around the beanie as it goes. This one's Eno, the other one's Eno. Obviously. It's pretty cool. I just wouldn't do it again this way. Like, I would prefer it if it stood out more. Like if it was a color changing yarn, it would probably pop better. And if it were a thicker yarn. But I mean, I kind of would rather everything be thicker yarn because then it's over faster. Everything's easier to make with bigger yarn. It's like painting with a bigger brush. Yeah. I mean, at this point, like, it's kind of cool. It's almost like a little bit of a cable knit that you could do without a cable hook. You just kind of hold the one stitch off the needle while you knit behind it. No. I'm Eno, not Eno, see? Well, I'm going to call you Eno, so deal. How's everybody's Thursday night going? We had a busy day today, and I've got a busy day tomorrow. Oh, you made Eno sad. But like good busy, productive busy. Did a lot of cleaning today. Gosh, I'm tired. I'd be surprised if this stream goes 2 hours. So flippin' tired. Did it not work? Oh, if you text the group thread, that won't work. You would have to text me directly. A little bit of spring cleaning, I guess, yeah. I have that thread muted. I'm not teasing when I say I've muted that thread. That thing goes bananas sometimes. And I'd rather just come back to 75 unread messages than listen to 75 bloops. I'm gonna try to text her, weirdo. Go ahead, text me, and then I'll put your phone number up on the screen. Dox you. It's the third winter here. How many winters do they have there? Oh, see, I haven't had audio on my phone. I would love to not let my phone make noise, but as a foster parent, there are some calls I gotta answer. And gosh, they call me a lot. Come here, you. I don't know how this one got so snug. Aye. 3. Just the 3. Oh, okay. And what's in between the 3 winters? Do you get like a one-day summer? Hopefully, Melissa. I'd like to change my phone number altogether after it's all said and done. And then I would make it a redemption on my stream. For 1,000,000 points, you can have my phone number. Just clouds and rain before it starts freezing again. Sounds lovely. Somehow my weather app says that tomorrow night it's going to be 35 degrees and snowing. I didn't know that it could snow at 35 degrees. What do I know about thermodynamics, though? Maybe. I didn't know wind chill worked on water. Does it work on water? A little bit above 0? 32 would be 0. So 35 would be like, I don't know, 8 degrees or something? Was it 5/9 F minus 32? Oh, only 1.6? Man, my math is so good. I was doing it the other way. Instead of dividing by the 2 there, I multiplied. It should have been like 3 roughly divided by 2, but instead it was 3 roughly multiplied by more than 2. Wet snow, huh? Alright. If you say so. I'm not a snow expert. I don't like snow. Never liked snow. I grew up in Los Angeles. We didn't have snow. It snowed one time when I was a kid, and I didn't even see it. They told me it snowed. I never saw the snow. But they sent us home from school. Like, they called it a snow day. Even though the snow lasted for like 10 seconds. I don't do any math. I'm never far from a calculator to do my math for me. The only reason I know the temperature formulas is because I was a math tutor for a long time, and we taught them in algebra or pre-algebra, you know, just to get people used to using fractions and stuff, not because converting temperatures is something we need to do very often. We don't use Google in this channel, though. We use Bing. Murder documentary. Oh, hey, there, my phone lit up. Enjoy your lurk. Oh, it's notifying me about the weather. It's letting me know. Weather's crappy. See you in 20 minutes when it's still crappy. We don't search shame. Oh, maybe we do, actually. I think in fact, we do quite a bit of that. So what are you up to, You playing a game? You knitting a beanie? Watching a murder documentary? I'm usually playing a game or knitting or yarncrafting of some sort when I'm like watching Twitch. I like never sit down really and just watch it. Oh, pretending to work. I've always got something else going on. For me, Twitch is more like a radio than it is like television. You know what I mean? I don't sit down and like watch Twitch generally. I kind of listen to the streamer, or sometimes I'll have multiple streamers open, and occasionally throw out a snarky comment, but I don't like sit there and watch. Like I could never imagine putting Twitch on full screen. Unless I were purposefully like watching it like with someone else, maybe like, oh, let's watch this marathon together or something, and then we maybe we'd put it on full screen then, but otherwise it's more like a radio for me. Check the screen. Yeah, it's kind of. I figure a lot of people do. I mean, you're already at your computer. Why not? Just kind of have it on, have the sound. In fact, before I started, Sarah told me, she's like, it's more important that your sound is good than that your video is good, even though it's technically a video. But that's true even for videos. Like, people can get over bad video. They have a hard time getting past bad audio. And I think I agree with her. Some of my earlier streams had some audio issues, and it was kind of jarring to watch an old one the other day. Just kind of like for fun, I pulled up an old stream the other day, and I was shocked at how it sounded. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I used to stream like this. Oh, I do that too. I put everything on 160p for the most part, even though I'm like at my computer, just because, and like I have wired internet. I feel like I don't want to slow down the family's internet, and I'm not really watching, so may as well just put it on the low resolution. Especially, yeah, if I was listening on my phone, definitely. Like, why waste all that data? I mean, we have like the unlimited data, supposedly, but I still feel like it's one of those things where they throttle it if you use too much in a month. And with 3 teenagers, we use quite a bit. This song has a, like for album art, has some My Neighbor Totoro stuff. Totoro. I wonder if that was like from the soundtrack or something. Or they just like that picture. Ah, okay. I mean, I have the fewest problems of anybody because the router's right there behind my monitor, so I'm wired right in. But all the kids have Wi-Fi, so they're the ones who will start to suffer. I rarely have internet issues. If I'm having internet issues, it's because my ISP is having issues, not because something in my house is going wrong. I don't think my precautions actually do anything. It's like security theater. Bandwidth theater. It's more than enough for 2 people with 2 wired connections and 6 Wi-Fi devices. Yeah, 600 megabit. Gosh, I've gotten by on much worse internet than that before. Like, come on. I remember when the 56K was fast. Hey, Jim Beasy. I am making some of this yarn go out of my life. I am just getting rid of yarn. This is gonna be my first Sidewinder beanie. So it's a beanie, kind of a standard knit pattern, except it's got these little stripes that go diagonally up it. This is created by as you go around. Oh, here, as you get to the little stripy part right there. So this one right here, the second stitch, is the one that has the little pattern. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip over this one. We're going to pull that one off and just kind of hold it in my hand out of the way, knit this one to stretch it over, and then the one that we pulled off we're going to put back on and then presume knitting. So those two swapped places, so it creates this little sidewinder as it goes up the beanie. It's a cool little pattern. This is my first time doing it. I'm just kind of like learning it and doing it just to see what it's like. I wouldn't do it this way again. I would use bigger yarn. I would use more colorful yarn. I think that the Sidewinder effect is a little too subtle on a monochromatic yarn. Kind of like a little tiny little baby cable knit. Like just one little, you pull one off and swap them, and you don't need a. It's like cable knitting if you don't have a cable hook. So yeah, it's kind of like that. I remember waiting for images to load line by line. Yeah, I remember that. Told my kids, like, if you want to download an MP3, you left the internet on overnight. I also have over here, in case I finish this one, my ugly scarf. My ugly scarf is what I do with all my leftover bits of yarn. I tie them all together to make one mega ugly yarn, and then I knit it into ugly scarf. Good old days. I do not long for the good old days. I don't even want to go back to DSL. I actually had 56K more recently than was reasonable. In 2007, I was still using 56K because I was living in Japan in the barracks, and it was either that or the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi was worse than the 56K. Of course, I had to pay for the phone line too, and of course never used the phone line, just wanted the internet so I could play Burning Crusade. Yeah. Yeah. What? That noise. If I played for that for my kids, they'd be like, that's like some old internet thing, right? Like they would know vaguely what it was. But the very concept of dial-up internet doesn't really gel in their minds. I was trying to, I was talking with my older kid about image formats and, why they were the way they were, and what a GIF was, and what a JPEG was, and bitmaps and PNGs, and why all these different formats existed. And they were pretty fascinated by it. But then, you know, I told him, like, early internet couldn't even, like, you know, open these files. It couldn't open like a bitmap into Internet Explorer or Netscape Navigator. Couldn't even open an MP3. They're flabbergasted at that idea. Like, what? Yeah. They're blown away by the idea of an internet browser that can't open a PDF. Like, they take that for granted. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember we used to have a separate program for that. I remember when we used to call apps programs. Recently went from 60 to 600 because we got it available at a very good deal. The old internet used to lag a lot. That's quite an upgrade. 60 to 600, I like it. What do you mean your game would crash and need a phone call? And you wouldn't even know it right away. Your character would just start running in place. What's happening? Oh no! DC'd. Or you'd lose your AOL Instant Messenger conversation. That's where I learned to type, was AOL Instant Messenger. I didn't take a typing class. I didn't go to middle school or high school. I took AOL Instant Messenger typing school. Still don't type with the home row keys. Like, I don't type properly. I type very fast, but improperly. It'd probably be faster if I ever learned to do it the right way. Like how I learned to knit the right way. During the Burning Crusade times, we had a 20 megabit, and that was considered high. Oh yeah, that would be. That would have been nice. I was, like, not only was I on 56K, but I was in Japan playing on, you know, American servers, because all my friends were still in America. And, yeah, the lag was real. I developed that thing that, like, Australians were dealing with for a long time, where you jump a little bit before you actually want to jump. There's a little bit of a delay, like you're playing NES Batman. I still kind of do it sometimes. Like, every once in a while, I jump a little too early. Oh yeah. LAN party. Man, that's good stuff. 4-player StarCraft. I played some 4-player Doom. I loved 4-player Hexen. That was a good one. And then pre-Halo 2, there was the Halo LAN parties. We would do those. We would get 4 Xboxes and 4 TVs and 16 Marines, and oh man, you have a good time. You mean when you play with friends, you started casting and the mob was dead for you? Yes. I was not much help in the raids. So I usually did heals anyway, and then, like, I was a druid healer, and most druid healing is sort of, you know, proactive anyway, so I was like, this is fine. I know they're going to start getting hit, so I'm just going to put my heals on them now. Worked out alright. I don't remember, like, losing a lot of people. I rated with 1 FPS. So your internet was good, but your graphics card was struggling, huh? I always turned my graphics down in WoW when if it started to struggle. Like, I would much rather have crummier graphics at a higher frame rate than beautiful graphics at a even moderately or mildly stuttering frame rate. Fantastic. Running around like it's Metal Gear Solid, camera above your head.
I sense a soul in search of
radishes. Hey Timmy. I actually started I'm knitting not your beanie, unless you want this purple beanie. That would save me a lot of time. I was how do you say brainstorming? I don't know. A little beyond brainstorming. How to make this graboid beanie, and I think it's totally doable. I think I can make you a pretty sweet graboid. Whatever beanie you want to give me. Are you okay, Timmy? I mean, I got beanies lying around if you want me to just mail you one of those. But I kind of like the idea of the challenge of making the graboid. Of course, if I send you a graboid beanie, I expect you to break through people's rec room walls with it. And, you know, react to everybody's noises. Anytime like a air compressor comes on. Man, I loved Tremors. I thought that movie was so cool first time I saw it. We recorded it. Like, it came on TV and we recorded it late at night. I got to stay up a little late and watch Tremors. And I didn't know that the word for, how do you say, an illegitimate child, one whose parents are not married, I didn't know that was a bad word. And that was like the first time I heard that word was in that movie. They called that, the Tremors, the graboids, that. And so, like, I repeated that. And, oh, man, David told on me. Mom filled my mouth up with chili pepper. I'll run my hand into concrete to attack someone in the basement, but I imagine that's a one-time trick. 65,000 radishes? Did the math? I mean, what did it cost? Like 70 something? Like total? I don't know. I do the math and then I forget it. Whoa, 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 whoa. About, okay. Just did it. Timmy here wants a graboid from Tremors. Everyone knows it's Mindy. I don't think this is actually that song, but it kind of sounded like it. The dogs on the bottom, those are the expensive ones. So you already did the rats. And the jam. I got through the first 3 levels of Heroes of Might and Magic, Timmy. And I got myself some notes. I can cheese the first level pretty good, and I can cheese that 3rd level pretty good. The 4th level, I don't know yet. I feel like I can like really early kind of just zip over and take a castle in the first week. Like I've definitely taken the castle, but I want to kind of see if like I can hold it, because if I can do that, I can just eliminate a third of the opposition in the first week and have double castle, so be earning major bank, which would be good because it seems like that map is kind of wide open. Like there's not monsters clogging up paths and stuff. So I'm going to need that money to build up armies to defend myself, because those southern lords are not really shy about coming up and getting in my business. Yeah, rats while you're doing the Bliss Ball, and it was glorious chaos. Oh yeah, you did the Olympia, Washington. Oh, yeah. Probably better if you don't recall the joke. No, you don't tell a joke. I tell a joke. Well, I read a joke from an awful joke book. I mean, you're welcome to tell one if you want. So I don't know what your plan is, but I want to note that the graboids have 3 lower jaw parts and 3 tongues. Oh, you know, Timmy, I did notice that. I noticed that in some of the images I was looking at, because like the first couple images that I found had only 2 lower mandibles, and I was like, is that right? Like, looked weird. So then I looked up footage from the actual movie, and I was like, no, there's definitely 3 of them. I already knew about the 3 snakes, or the 3 tongues. The 3 tongues with like mouths that hiss. But yeah, no, definitely you're gonna get like an anatomically accurate graboid. I'm not gonna give you some bogus one. As many tongue monsters can fit inside? No way. 3. 3 is the proper number. You can't just load it up. How would it even... Like, if you had that many tongues in your mouth, how would you even swallow? Like having a mouthful of spaghetti all the time. No bueno. But yeah, they have like the one big upper mandible that's like more, almost like 2/3 of the mouth around, and then the three little bottom ones. I mean, the beanie doesn't go that far down, so you don't have to worry about that. At some point, the graboid is you. But yeah, I figure I'll take, like a beige, something graboidy colored, come up, and then what I'll do is like switch it to red for the dome, kind of the inside of the mouth, and then crochet the mandibles and attach them, and then yeah, just make some sweet little tongues to stick in there. Three sweet little tongues to stick in there. And I'll probably do, okay, so I say anatomically correct, but then I might be lying, because I was thinking I might do some of the little nubs on the side too, the little flippers that it has to use to move, just like around the brim. I think that they're not actually that high up on a traditional graboid, but I mean, if they look terrible, I won't do them, but I think they might look good to have little flippers on it. I think the concept lends itself pretty well to a beanie versus somebody being like, hey, can you make me like a parrot beanie? I wouldn't know how to make a parrot beanie, but like a graboid, I think I can do. Oh man, it's hard to stop me when I get started. I almost never do less on a project than I expected to when I started. I invariably do more than I planned to when I started. I want anyone who sees it, who knows what a graboid is, to immediately recognize it. Not be like, what's that thing? It's a graboid. Oh, it is a graboid. No. I want it to be like, oh my gosh, that's a graboid beanie. Or that's a tremor. That's acceptable if they don't remember that they're called graboids, but they know it's a tremor. No idea what I would want, but I'm gonna get one eventually because awesome. Well, that's good. Yeah, I like it. It's fun. I didn't actually know how to knit when I started the Redemption, Jim Beasy. I created Beanie Quest in a way to force myself to learn to knit. I was like, well, I'm going to knit him a beanie, and so I'm going to have to learn how to do it. And it kind of surprised me how quickly the first one got done, because I still wasn't quite good at knitting beanies. That first beanie, I had to knit it a number of times before I was happy with it. I kind of push myself into stuff like that sometimes. If I don't know how to do a thing, or if I don't feel like I'm good at a thing, I kind of force myself to do it. When I bought my first car, I bought a manual just to force myself to learn how to drive a manual. It's like, well, here we go. I'm gonna have to figure it out now. And I did. And if I never have to drive a manual again, that's okay. Although I still do constantly have my hand on the shifter like I'm driving a manual. Although I probably wouldn't do that in a car that had like the shifter up here, but I haven't seen a car with a shifter up behind the wheel in forever. Look, when I unbox this beanie, I'm sure I can find a dozen things that are wrong with it. I feel like as long as I know it's a graboid, that's good enough. That's good. I feel like often with these beanies, Timmy, my standards for them are higher than the recipient. I mean, the recipient's getting a free beanie, so they're just kind of happy to get one. But I'm a bit of a perfectionist about them. I mean, I've never made a beanie that I thought was perfect and wonderful, but some of the recipients have thought they were perfect and wonderful. My parents made sure I learned in a manual car, even though the car I was going to buy for my grandpa's automatic. I mean, if you can drive a manual, you can drive an automatic, so why not? The hardest part these days would be finding a manual. I mean, really, you're only missing out on, like, if you go to, like, a rental place and rent an old sports car or something like that. Like, or if you're going to drive a truck. I don't think even buses are manuals anymore. You like that, the Blitzball? There was no choice here, manual only. It is like that. That's true. If you're gonna go overseas, maybe it's best to know. That's true. When my car in Japan was manual, didn't have a choice. So you just want a beige sweater with little paddles all over it? You know, like those shark blankets that are like eating the kid. Make like a graboid one that's like big enough to eat an adult. You know how long that would take to make? I would use some big chunky yarn for that. Oh man. Dude, he's got this whole trimmers themed outfit. Fantastic. Oh man. I don't know if I could make a mitten ass blaster that would be recognizable as such. might be beyond my skill. You can find them in brand new cars, but they don't stock them. You have to order them. Yeah. We're at the point where you have to pay extra now for the manual. I want to lay down in the corner of a room and people believe they're going to be attacked by a graboid. They weren't very scary. They were kind of silly. The little ones, what are the small ones called? What did you call them? A shrieker? Were the little ones called shriekers? They were okay. The ones from Tremors 2, they were kind of cool. It was like interesting to, evolve it a little bit. Just to change it up. Because we already knew how to kill the regular traditional graboid. Essentially making a Halloween costume. If we got rid of one of our cars last year, we had leased a car for 3 years, and the lease was finally up, and I just don't need it. Sarah's working from home. What do we need 2 cars for? So, sent one back. They were not happy about it. They really, really wanted us to continue to lease it. Be a warm Halloween costume. I don't actually have a pattern here, or I'm counting or anything. I took a picture of when the beanie was the right size to finish closing it off with the rest of the yarn I had, as measured against my hand. So I'll just refer to that picture when I feel like I'm getting close. Had a new car 7 years ago, and that was only because I didn't have to pay road tax for 5 years. Nice. The car we have, we got 7 years ago as well, or like 6.5 years ago, because that's when we started fostering. So we had to get rid of the little Honda Accord because it wasn't going to be big enough for us, our kids, and then the new kids. So I went and got the Ford Explorer and been driving that thing around ever since. A 7-seater Explorer. Road tax. Yeah. You got the road tax. They just don't call it that. What's up, Moose Bones? How's it going, Moose Bones Raiders? My name is Mickey Dadrad. I take care of kids, I play old video games, and I make stuff out of yarn. See? I'm making stuff out of yarn. What were we up to, Moose Bones, tonight? Was it Line Monster Ranching? Hey, look at those little wolves. Must have been. Oh yeah, it's showing up as Monster Rancher 2 again, but we all know that that's actually the Line Monster Rancher game. Looks like it was pretty awesome. So, do you read Japanese there, Moose Bones? Or do you just know what's going on because you figured it out? Was good? Did you raise it? I saw on Twitter you were going to raise a mono. And I wasn't sure if I was looking at an old post, but I don't think it was an old post. Can't read a word? Oh, really? Well, because I noticed that you also rated a Japanese streamer who was playing Line Monster Rancher. So I thought, oh, maybe he speaks Japanese. Just being friendly, huh? Or you're just trolling me now and you're totally like a Japanese professor. Just sharing the love. Yeah, that's cool. We have a couple, we get a couple of viewers in here who don't speak much English sometimes. I don't know how they find me or, you know, what keeps them hanging around, but it happens sometimes. What's going on, Norfdorf? I commented on your wolves because I liked your wolves. I didn't comment on your name. That's a good name. Oh, also, hi, Goat Paws. I got so distracted talking to myself, I neglected my chat. How was your evening, everybody? I know it was awesome because you were hanging in Moosebone's channel, and it's just so chill and fun over there. Google, oh yeah, Google Instant Translate. Memorize a few character patterns, help me through the game, but I don't know what anything says. Hey, if your monster's not unconscious at the end of the match, you're doing something right? ¿Cómo estás? Wow, that's the first time we've had that message, Twitchy Torble. Yo soy muy bien. ¿Y tú? Yeah, I got a 82-day streak in Duolingo for Spanish. I don't actually speak much Spanish, but I grew up in LA, so I can tell you what they're saying in TV shows. Off work today, got shop orders all mailed out. Productive day. I had a productive day today too. So, what are you have like a personal shop? You do have like an Etsy shop kind of thing? What do you make? What do you do? Tell me all about it. In fact, start streaming it. We'll raid you. That's awesome. I like taking a day off work to do something productive. I mean, my work these days is dad, so I don't get days off work anymore. But when I did, but that's pretty traditional though, right? Like Saturdays for mowing the lawn. That's you tomorrow, huh? Tomorrow I will continue cleaning the house. I spent most of the day cleaning the house today. I have something of a little, like a party tomorrow. So someone's got to clean up this disgusting house. Do some editing, huh? Oh, Ko-Fi shop. Mostly make Monster Rancher merch. Send me the link. Or don't send me the link. Man, I love Monster Rancher. That's how Moosebones and I found each other. I was playing Monster Rancher one day. Came and raided me. But then he noticed I have the same chair as him, and he was like, oh, this guy's legit. What were you editing? Were you editing videos for your YouTube? Oh man, that's like a skill I wish I had, is video editing. I still haven't even made like a channel trailer because even the most basic editing video is beyond me. If two videos have different volumes, I'm like, I'm hopeless. I can't do this. I keep meaning to ask my next door neighbor, like, if he'll take a commission, because apparently my next door neighbor, he's like 17 years old. He's like some famous Minecraft YouTuber. Oh, new competitive breakdown video. Cool. And he like loves video editing, apparently. But I've never even spoken to him. I've only like talked to his dad. I'm like, dang, I should get your kid to put together a little Twitch trailer for me if he's got video editing skills. Like, I guess he was big enough on YouTube that my kids had heard of him. They're like, oh yeah, we know that guy. I'm like, wow, he's our next door neighbor now. I don't know who it was, so don't ask me. I'm not maintaining his privacy. I have no idea. I'm subscribed to like 6 people on YouTube. You're one of them, Moosebones. I didn't even start YouTubing until I started streaming, and then I was running out of room on my computer to to save the videos, so I started uploading them to YouTube just to preserve them. In case my grandkids, one day want to watch all my old Twitch streams. Dox my neighbor. I mean, I could give you his address if you want his address. I just don't know his name or his YouTube handle. But you could come to his house here in Seattle and ask him, what's your YouTube handle? Just to find out you're already subbed to him. Well. So what you, someone say you were, what monster you were doing today? Hey, I hear you play Minecraft. Actually, his dad said he stopped playing so much Minecraft and started more making Minecraft videos. Oh, a plant. My first ever monster in Monster Rancher 1 was a plant. I think I got it from my Semisonic CD, Feeling Strangely Fine. And so I raised it faithfully, this was my first monster. I will not abandon it. And then I bred it with a dino to get an Aloha, which I just loved. I loved my Aloha. That was one of my favorite monsters ever. I mean, just because it was my second monster ever. I really fell in love with the magics eventually because those were kind of the easiest special monster you could get. Nobody else in my family really bothered with the quests and stuff to get the special monsters, so I got the magic monster, so I felt all cool, oh, I got a magic monster. Of course, then my older brother took over the PlayStation for a while and got himself a hanger monster, and I was pretty jelly until I got a dragon. Aloha is so cute, man. Oh, Mono was Tuesday. Okay, so I did see a thing about a Mono. It's just when it's on Moose Bones' channel, it's it's on to the next monster real quick. Aloha is cute with the little flower tattoo. I love it. Oh, I also liked my my Scribble. Wait, is Scribble the right one? When you do the thing where you get your... No, so Scribble is the messed up Mono, right? And then from that, you could either get a Doodle or a Sketch. And I think Sketch was the rarer one. And so I reset my PlayStation 50 times to get a Sketch. And I thought he was cool. Yeah, dude, Twitter is weird, man. I just got into Twitter, and I told my kids, they're like, what do you do on Twitter? And I'm like, Twitter's kind of like a loud party, and I'm not sure if I know anybody there, and I'm looking around to see if there's anything I recognize, because it's mostly just ads and stuff people I know clicked on. And I'm like, why would I want to see this? How do I... So I've been working on curating my Twitter feed to get more, pixel art and ducks, stuff that I want to see in there. Cute puppies. I'm not very engaging. I'm not very active. I should probably post more stuff, but I post when I finish a project. When I finish a Beanie or something, I'll post a picture of it. But, I mean... If it gets 3 likes, that was kind of a hot tweet, just because I figure everyone else kind of has the same stuff going on. Their Twitters are all just clogged up with stuff. So if they even see my tweet, they're lucky. Or I'm lucky. I don't know how people consider that. But yeah, I've been using Discord more and more lately. At first I would go into Discords and then immediately mute them. I even had my own Discord muted because it was too many notifications. But now I kind of go into a Discord server and just sort of mute all the channels that are irrelevant to me. I'm not even qualified to discuss anime, you know what I mean? Or anime suggestions. Or baking creations. These aren't things I do, so I just mute those channels, but I leave the one that's show your pets, or stuff you've crafted. These are the channels that way when I open up my Discord, when I start my computer in the morning, I don't have 700 unread messages, I just have 10. Something a little more manageable. But Discord does feel, and I mean probably is quite literally, very how do you say? Like, there's a bunch of little islands, you know? It's like an archipelago of social media. It's not all right there in one space, all Facebook or Twitter. But, I mean, that's part of the appeal now, because it's not all chock full of ads either. Wait till Discord starts filling our servers with ads. And we'll all have to move on. Maybe we'll all just go back to IRC. Oops. Almost lost it there. It's always annoying to slip right there at the chain over too, because they're kind of awkward to fix. Like, knitting normally is a little awkward to fix, but especially when you were doing something unorthodox when it slipped. It just makes it even that much harder. I like that name, Goat Paws, because goats don't have paws. Oh, hey, Goat Paws, I manifested you. We used to have a cat named Toad. So this is my first ever Sidewinder beanie, Goat Paws. It's just a beanie, but it's got these little sidewinders that go snaking up in a little spiral. I'm just getting rid of the yarn. I have too much yarn, and so I just need to get rid of stuff. And somebody the other day in one of the Discord servers posted a picture of a Sidewinder beanie, and I asked him, like, hey, what's that called? Because I've seen that pattern before, but I didn't know what it was called, so I didn't know how to Google it, which is a problem I have a lot with knitting and crocheting. And they told me it's called a Sidewinder beanie. So I looked up how to knit a Sidewinder beanie, realized it's actually really simple, and thought, well, I'll try it. I wouldn't do it this way again. I think it's a little too subtle of a pattern for a yarn that is this small, and a yarn like this is just a worsted yarn, like a size 4, and a yarn that's one color. I think this would be a more exciting pattern with a thicker yarn and with a color changing yarn. What is needle felting? I don't even know if, like, I've maybe am familiar with the concept, but I never heard the term needle felting. I like knitting the best. I learned to knit last. I thought crocheting was easier, and I thought, wow, knitting is terrible, until I learned continental knitting style, and now I kind of hate crochet. I'm like, man, I love knitting. I also do latch hook as well. I like to latch hook, make like little rugs and stuff and pillows. But I would love to learn to embroider and cross stitch and all that too. Just, who's got that kind of time? I got to keep myself from getting buried in all this yarn people keep giving me. So when you take carded wool and stab it with a special needle until it's packed together, I feel like I've seen that. Like, you know, when they do those, you know, videos where it's like fast forward and someone's crafting something, I think I've seen somebody stabbing carded wool. Taking a hook to a ball of compressed wool to make 3D shapes. Interesting. I'm gonna open up a tab here and check some of this out after stream. Needle felting. How does that work? That's amazing. Wow. You know what? Actually, I ordered a pair of slippers one time from an Etsy shop in like Lithuania, and I bet you that's how she made them, because that's kind of what they looked like. Like, it said they were knit, but when I got them, I was like, these are clearly not knit. Like, knitting did not produce this fabric. But I bet that's how she made them, was this needle felting. Like, everything looks kind of like a little bit like a tennis ball. Hyper-realistic cat portraits, 3D shapes. Yeah, see, I do the amigurumi 3D shapes. Is this easier than amigurumi? Because maybe I should get into this. Amigurumi is a toil, man. It's like a total labor to produce anything via crochet. I wonder if needle felting's easier. Different needles, most of them have part. Did you really? You got a link? Sure, a link. Is it in your shop? Oh man, I'll send it to my wife. Our anniversary is next month. She can give me a word. I need an aloha though. Can you make me an aloha? I'll give you a beanie. occasionally I just make a beanie just to get rid of some yarn, and then I throw it in this box we have that's like random gifts for, you know, last minute birthday party invites or something for the kids. And invariably what happens is some kid goes in there for a gift for one of their friends or something, sees the beanie and goes, "What's this?" and then takes it. Oh, just getting started. Nice. You should stream making it and start a beanie quest or a needle felting quest. Like we have beanie quest here, where you can earn a beanie by doing all the redemptions. That's not what this beanie is. This beanie is just getting rid of yarn. I always have at least 3 or 4 projects happening at once. This is my current like mobile project. It's really easy to take this one to the bus stop. Oh, nice. Saving up for a computer stream. That's cool. I'm actually trying to do that myself this year. I'm trying to get a new computer, like one that's more streaming friendly. Like this one's done all right, but this computer is, I don't know, a decade old. It's time for USB 3 all around. You know what I mean? That's why my buddy who like helps me build my computers, he's coming tomorrow. And that's what I told him. Like, priority is peripherals. I need to be able to hook up 20 video cameras and 13 microphones. And stream. And all the RAM. Well, that's cool that you're starting needle felting. Let me know if it's like... maybe I'll get into it too. That's what I need. I need more things to learn how to do. Oh, who am I kidding? I love it. That's why I'm knitting a Sidewinder beanie instead of just a regular old beanie. Alright, this thing's not quite as small as I remember it being. I think it was like a golf ball size last time when I was going to shrink it. But I'll check against the image when I get back around to my stitch marker here. This little stitch marker, that's where I started. I could probably stream with mine. I built it last year, but my graphics card is recycled from my... That's kind of what mine is. Sort of reverse, though. I got a newer graphics card. I mean, it was someone else's old graphics card, so it's still not like a new graphics card, but on an ancient motherboard. So, like, the graphics card is the newest piece of my computer, but everything else is still pretty old. But, I mean, if you've... You know, I'm not, like, playing... Cyberpunk in here. You know what I mean? If my computer can run like Minecraft, then that's good enough for me. I was playing Heroes of Might and Magic earlier today. The hard part about running that on a modern computer is that it was written for Windows 95. You know what I mean? The thing runs in DOSBox. Graphics is, oh my gosh, isn't it? I love it still. It's still so good. I loved all the Heroes of Might and Magic games. I mean, I played 2 the most. Like 2 was the one that, I just got sucked into and played so much. But I loved 1, 2, 3, and 4. I never played after 4, but I did play 1, 2, 3, and 4 quite a bit. And yeah, so I never beat Heroes of Might and Magic 1 as a kid, so it's in the queue. It's our next game. Well, it's our second to next game. I was practicing it today to get ready for when we stream it. The next game that we're going to stream probably, maybe Sunday, is Adventure Island for the NES. And after we beat that, then we're moving on to Heroes of Might and Magic 1, where we will beat the Sorceress campaign. Oh, we'll get one of them, what do you call it? The VTubers. Give me them VTubers. Oh, sweet. And, give it nice teeth. Let's see.
The only good bug is a dead bug.
What's up, Basecamp Foster? What's up, Basecamp Raiders? My name is Mickey Dad Red. I take care of kids, I play old video games, and I make stuff out of yarn. We're making a Sidewinder beanie today. Look at this. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic, Goat Paws. Alright, we're following Goat Paws. Shut up and take my follow. Look at that worm. That's excellent. You made that, Goat Paws? I love it. Goat Paws here was telling me about needle felting. And showing me a creation from Monster Rancher. So, how did it go? Basecamp Foster, did you teach everyone to fall in love with Solar Jetman? Gosh, Solar Jetman's on my list. That was a game that I played a lot of. Oh, Adventure Island 2. Oh, it's a great soundtrack. How's it going, Bug? Sots. Look at these dancing Pikachus. Those are so cute. I mean, a dancing Psyduck will be better, but dancing Pikachu's pretty great. Actually, we have a dancing Pikachu on our stream. If anybody ever wants to cheer 25 bits, you get a dancing Pikachu. Yeah, so, okay. This is a Sidewinder beanie. So it's a beanie, okay? And gets its name from these little stitches that kind of spiral up the side. If you're familiar at all with cable knitting, it's kind of like a little tiny cable knit. It's just like one little cable, one little stitch thick cable. We are just getting rid of yarn. We're just getting rid of yarn. I have too much yarn. I've also got this one over here. This is my ugly scarf. When I have projects that have leftover bits of yarn, I tie them together. No, it won't work with 100 bits. It only works with 25. Hey, we got there's a dancing Psyduck right there. Thanks for the bits, Jim PC. I'll take this opportunity to remind everybody this is a not-for-profit stream. All of our profits are donated through my wife's employer to organization up here in Seattle called Treehouse that helps kids in foster care. So this is my ugly scarf that I'm making for my kid who's like my troll. She will love it. It's so hideous. Like, look at this monster. Just literally all the little bits of yarn tied together. Ugh. And yeah. Bug Doctor secretly runs Treehouse and embezzles all the profits. Actually, you know what? Here, Jim Beezy, I will give you a Pikachu. Let me, I'll do the little, what do you call it? The alert test. And it'll pop up a Pikachu for you. Oh, yeah. In fact, Jim, I made the same thing. So I took my chunky yarns, my big yarns and my chunky yarns a month ago, and knit them all into a giant hideous blanket, like this monstrously hideous blanket. I would have felt bad giving it to Goodwill, and they fought over it. Like, Sarah and my oldest kid were like fighting over it. Like, I want that blanket. I'm like, really? This is a piece of trash and I hate it. I'm sad that I made it. But they were into it. All right, here. So this would be if you cheered 25 bits. There's somewhere around here. How do you do this? Okay, bits. Don't cheer 25 bits. You'll get the dancing Pikachu for free. This is because I was trying to make a gift for my daughter, and I accidentally made this monstrosity. So she made me put it on the stream because she thought it was hilarious. Oh my gosh. Thanks for the bits, Mickey Dad Rat. Like when I was making the GIF, I accidentally didn't do replace each frame. I did combine, so it made that weird snake Pikachu thing. So yeah, you should have your emote do that, Basecamp Foster. Of a variation. I can't watch you play Solar Jetman too closely. That's good to hear that it went well. But usually, if like a game is in my queue and I haven't played it yet, I don't really watch other people play it. Hey, thanks for the sub, Moosebones. Hey, that's fine. I almost never have bits either. I have like 60 bits right now. I don't remember why I bought bits, but I bought bits a while back, and I still have like 60 of them lurking, and I don't really know what to do with them. Oh, we've got a dancing worm as well. Fantastic. Which worm is that? Is that a worm dino? Looks like a worm dino. Nice. I do kind of get that. Man, that little mochi there is like perfect for a Bible thump. Look at that thing. Looks just like it. Did you like start with the Bible thump and just turn it into that? I have several not so great quilts that I treasure because they were made by great. Yeah, that's what my my kid and Sarah were saying there, Jim BZ. They're like, this thing like evokes nostalgia of a sort of like a scrapped together, you know, just made from leftover junk kind of personality, I guess. They liked it. They liked that Hidioso blanket, and my kid like went. So my oldest kid is 14 and does like robotics. Is on the robotics team at their high school, and went away for a competition down to Oregon 2 weeks ago and took that blanket with him. Edited the Bible thumb. Okay, yeah, it works perfectly. I love it. I did that for one of my, I did it for an emote, but I don't think it ever became an emote. Like, for every emote that I have in my channel, I got like 20 emotes I made that didn't make the cut. But there was one that I did that with. I don't remember what it was. What emote was that? It was like maybe like Seems Good or something. I was trying to make like a Psyduck Seems Good, I think. And so I started with Seems Good and then tried to edit it into... oh, you know what else? I think I did it with the Charizard, too. Oh, no. See, so I do have this Charizard, this Nerdizard emote.
These boys sound very nice, but they're clearly nerds.
I forgot it would do that. I was trying to use the Charizard emote that exists in Twitch to make that one, but I couldn't get it the way I wanted it, so I just ended up making my own. Fantastic. Oh, you made those? Nice. 6 or 7 that don't really read well enough. I got some that never get used. No one ever uses them, and I'm like, maybe I should replace them. Like, I don't hear anybody complain or anything, but like, I don't know, I wouldn't know what to do with them, like, instead. But I'm not really worried about it. If somebody wants to suggest something, I'll take it under advisement. Unless it's Bug, I'll just ignore him. If Bug gets too sassy, I'm just gonna mod him. Like, I'm gonna make him be a mod. They're pretty niche, but I love them. I like the I must go. No sass from me. I'm tired and sick. Oh, bummer. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, go get better, Bug. Go rest and recover and pass out. Yeah, do that. Sounds good. Ban that mod gets used once in a while. Ban that mod, like LOL never gets used. My little LOL from Dragon
The only
Warrior.
good bug is a dead bug.
This one makes the only one who uses it. I have a there's one like that what is it? I use the sad Psyduck. But I don't really ever see anybody else use it. I use it, but I don't use it like in my own channel, obviously, but I use it in other people's. Insect physician. Oh, he's like a bug doctor, like a veterinarian for bugs? Oh, I didn't know that. That's fantastic, Opaz. I love that thing. Alright, I think this beanie has gotten tall enough to where we can start shrinking it now. Let's check when we get around to it. I like the more you know. That one gets used every once in a while. Fu uses that one. If I drop some hot knowledge on the chat. It made me laugh, Moosebones. Okay. It's funny, my kids have, like, I guess South Park is, like, back in, the youth popular media strata or whatever. So they're, like, talking about stuff, and I'm like, are you talking about South Park? And they're like, yeah, you know South Park? I'm like, oh, gosh. Kids, come on. I do that in real life with a little hand wave for the star. That was one that I thought I wasn't going to keep. Like, I made that one sort of as a joke. But, I don't know, it grew on me. Like, I made it for me to jokingly use in other people's channels. not for it to be used here, but I don't know. Then a few people used it and it just kind of stuck around. Doki Doki got used a ton, especially when I'm doing poorly at a video game. Doki Doki rears its ugly head. Because when I was playing Doki Doki Panic, the little kid that we take care of, I think he was like 4 or 5 at the time, he started saying Doki Doki all the time. But he wasn't saying it like the Japanese onomatopoeia for a heartbeat. He was saying it like Okie Doki. So he would thumbs up and say Doki Doki. And so it became like a thing we said around the house, Doki Doki, for a while. So I made a Doki Doki emote. And then when I would start freaking out, that was like our clench emote, basically, was the Doki Doki. Although one of my viewers went into someone else's channel and used Doki Doki, and the streamer thought that like my viewer was standing them, like had a crush on them, because it means the heartbeat sound, like thump thump thump. So they thought like, oh, are you in love with me or something? Like, I don't know. I was saying that was freaky. This guy. Pink jam. Oh my gosh. That thing looks a little disgusting. It kind of reminds me of, remember that Ren and Stimpy? I think it was Ren and Stimpy cartoon, where that little boy went over the swing set and turned inside out. Yeah, big oof. He came back to me, my brother-in-law. He was like, hey, man, what the heck does Doki Doki mean? I'm like, oh, it's like, thump, thump, thump. It could mean scared, or it could mean either one. All right, how many we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wow, that was not even close to even. 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my gosh, we have a summoning. Jim Beasy has redeemed the sweet dog. All right. This is like awkward camera angle for it, but whatever. We'll go get her anyway. I'll be right back. Let's go get a sweet dog. Yeah, we got a big scary wolf here. Here, come on, baby. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Oh, there she is. Oh, okay. Here we go. Hi, baby. Hi. She was taking a nap. She was down for bed, but she couldn't be more excited about getting up. This is Mona Lisa Pepperstein. She turned 1 year old yesterday. It was her birthday. She is a beagle, and she's perfect. Yeah, she kind of thinks she's a wolf sometimes. She's very guard doggy, but she's kind of like really delayed reaction with the guard dogging. Like she starts barking at people after they've sat down on the couch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she actually the breeder that we got her from did Basset Hounds and Basset Hound Beagle mixes that they called bagels. And Sarah almost went after one of them bagels because she loved those big long ears, but Mona Lisa was too perfect. She's too perfect. Mona Lisa. Look at all these dog emotes. Where's all my dog emotes? We need more dog emotes. Where's a Franker Z, man? She looks just like Franker Z. Actually, her blaze is a little different. Franker Z had kind of a bigger blaze. She's got a little tiny one, but she's got cute freckles. Oh, there's a good one. Nice thoughts. Oh man, look at these big, they're so good. They're such good ears. She is like missing a little bit of hair around her eyes right now, a little bit of fur, because she kind of keeps scratching her eyes and scratching the fur off her eyes. I hope she stops doing that soon. There we go, there's the Franker Z. It's big. Yeah, like I mean, her ears do get dirty, and I gotta clean them out, which she loves. She loves cleaning her ears as much as I love cleaning my ears. She sits there and goes like, oh, and makes these growl noises. He's like, oh, like Homer Simpson. Oh, baby. She's very much a grumble bumble. She doesn't awoo a ton. She awoos a little bit. She's mostly a grumbler. She kind of goes. Hi, baby. What'd you find? You find some salami remnants in my mustache? Yeah, she's tasting the meat on my hands. Apparently I didn't do a good job washing my hands after I did the dishes. But I mean, she's a beagle, so she's got a pretty good nose. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Alright, Jim, you get your fill? Got your fill? Oh, you hear a little grumble there? Thanks for the summon. Now I kind of don't want to put her away. I kind of like her. I think she doesn't want to go back. I think she's kind of enjoying cuddling. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Your cat's getting hefty. We have the other, so the Maltese, the sour dog. Gosh, he eats like one spoonful of extra food and he goes full sausage mode. He gains weight so easily. And he's about the size of a cat, so. Hey, don't eat my knitting. What are you doing? Moos, huffs, and grumbles. Yeah, that's kind of what Mona here does. I would classify it as moos, huffs, and grumbles. And she's really funny with Sarah too, because she has this, she wants to cuddle on Sarah in a very specific way, and if Sarah is not positioned for that specific cuddle, she sits there and goes until Sarah fixes it. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, you're too cute. You're just too cute. Okay. I love it. Alright. Say goodnight. Thanks for the redemption, Jim Beezy. Okay, kisses. Kisses. Let's go. Come. Switch back to small cam first. Then we can be. You can see the baking soda on my carpet. Got baking soda in the carpet right now to make my house smell all nice for my party tomorrow. Ooh, Maine Coon. Oh, is it like one of those giant ones? Our orange cat, I think, is Maine Coon. Like, she's not gigantic or nothing, but she's got the M and the big long fur and that very dog personality. She acts more like a dog than the Maltese does. The Maltese acts like a cat, and the cat acts like a dog. And as I understand it, that's like a sort of a Maine Coon thing, that Maine Coons are very doggy. Oh yeah, I heard about Sneezy. 30 pounds, that's a big cat. That's, my cat and my Maltese combined aren't 30 pounds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we'll just, here, like that should do it. Okay, now we'll start moving this thing on to. Yeah, they can get pretty huge. Those things are like half bobcat, but excellent personalities. A big Roddy named Coda, and he's a dope. I mean, Roddies they're pretty dopey. It's kind of their whole deal, right? Wish I had more tea. Vegeta, the Maine Coon. Fantastic. Do you ever like spike up his hair like Vegeta? Alright. I'm just going to move it on to the double pointed needles first, and then we will shrink it. We'll start to shrink it. And if we have a little extra yarn when we're done, that's fine. Yeah, no wonder he scares the vet. We'll just add it to the ugly scarf yarn. When he was a baby, yeah. My kids still do that every once in a while with the Grand Dame. Our cat Popsicle, she's coming up on 13 years old now. And she's like this, most of the time, kind of a dignified lady, but every once in a while the kids will just mess with her and kind of dork up her hair. Give her like a mohawk. Yes, she is. And she's just got that air about her. So it's like especially funny when, you know, she falls or something. We're like, oh, you silly old cat. You're supposed to be more dignified than that. And once we have you know, bird feeders in our backyard. I like to look at the birds, and there was a couple little like juncos on the ground one time, and she went outside. She doesn't usually go outside, but she went outside and started like stalking the junco. And it was funny because she's a cat, so she got those cat moves, you know. She moved like a mountain lion, but she looks like a school bus or like a Twinkie. She just doesn't evoke the same primal fear that a cat does. Like a big cat, like a tiger, a mountain lion. She looked fairly ridiculous, but she didn't know she looked ridiculous. I was snickering as I watched her from the kitchen sink, and as she stalked the junco. I don't think the juncos even took her seriously. They were like, whatever, look at that ridiculous thing. I tried to get a picture of it, but the birds took off before I could get it. They do that, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Usually when I close up a beanie, I do it with 4 needles, but this time we're going to do it with 3. Just because of the way this beanie is shaped. Because I have 6 stripes here. So it's easier to sort of put 2 stripes onto 3 needles than to figure out, I don't know, 2/3 of a stripe or 3/2 of a stripe on the needle. I'm really on fire with the math tonight, I gotta say. You wouldn't believe I have a math degree. I guess it's not really an arithmetic degree. Not that I remember any of the math I learned for the degree. When my kids come to me with algebra questions, I have to relearn algebra real quick. Actually, algebra I remember pretty much. But when we get into calculus, I'll need some refreshers. Oop, that got a little weird. Come here, you. There we go. Oh, I lost it. I dropped it. Where'd it go? Okay. We recovered. We're good. Or at least that stitch is going to be buried behind the chain so nobody will notice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, bird feeders. My grandpa has corn in his field for the squirrels, and any deer getting at it will be met with extreme prejudice. You know, Mona Lisa there goes out and eats my bird seed. I used to fill up the bird feeder, and then I would scatter seed all over the backyard too. Just to, like, you know, let the birds, like, know, hey, it's refilled. Like, there's tons of seed, come get it. But now Mona Lisa eats it. I'm like, dog, come on. Don't be eating bird seed. You're better than that. I did used to get really upset when the squirrels would get into the bird feeder. Like, that was not meant for you. How dare you? I'm like okay with it now. I don't actually get a lot of squirrels here, which is interesting because we have like a green belt effectively in our backyard. There's a natural or native growth protection area right there in our backyard, and I wonder if like excuse me, if that's why we don't get squirrels, because we have like bigger animals. So when we were a little more suburban, a little less green belty, we got squirrels all the time. But here I don't really see squirrels. Rabbits, yes, but not squirrels. Oh, old Trapper joke. Oh, okay. We got a peacock at our bird feeder once. No kidding. I wouldn't even think peacocks would be interested. Where do you live that you got a peacock at your bird feeder? You live in a zoo? That's pretty exciting. I'm excited when I get like, you know, a Steller's jay or a goldfinch. I have heard that they are mean too, but I don't know that I've ever seen a mean peacock. I mean, they have them walking around at zoos often, like just kind of roaming free. How mean could they be? Oh, okay. Oh, so it was like a local pet. Oh, okay. So not like a wild peacock necessarily, just a local friendly peacock. That's cool. I didn't even know, like, you could keep a peacock. I guess I never really thought about it, but I mean, people keep all kinds of animals. But I'm from California originally, where it's like illegal to own ferrets and chinchillas. So it still kind of weirds me out that people in Washington have pet ferrets. Like, I didn't even know you could have a pet ferret. Although in California, where it was illegal to have pet ferrets or pet monkeys, they still sold monkey food and ferret food at the pet stores. I mean, I guess they don't want those illegal pets to starve. Or the pet stores just don't care. They just want, you know, to stay afloat. Stay in business. Fed him out of his hand. Actually, he couldn't have been that mean. I mean, especially if he's like a domesticated peacock, like someone's pet or livestock. I don't, goodness knows, I don't know where those laws come from, but yeah, it may have changed since I was a kid, but when I was a kid, you couldn't own ferrets in California. Sounds like it. All right, so now we've got it off the round needle here. We'll just start reducing it. My standard reduction for a beanie is... Actually, we're going to have to do an extra reduction, aren't we? Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Or we'll just close it with 13 stitches. Is to reduce it by 12 and then do a regular round, then reduce it by 12, do a regular round, and reduce it by 12 until it's down to 12 stitches. And since I have 3 of these stripes, I'm going to do... How am I going to do my reductions? I'm going to do 2 inside the stripe, 2 inside the stripe, 2 inside the stripe, so that'll give me 6. So I got to reduce it. If I did like 1, 2... I guess I could do 2 reductions at the beginning of the stripe. Well, then the stripe would really shrink. So maybe we'll do 1 before the stripe, 1 after, 1 after, or 1 before, then 1 after. So that's what I'll do. I'll do 1 before, 1 after, 1 before, 1 after, times 4 there, or times 3 will give me 12 reductions. Well, let's give it a try. I have no idea what I'm doing. If I do it right, it should go all the way up. Texas has some silly... I got a ton of siblings out in Texas. Half my family, it seems like, moved to Texas. Back in like 2010, I guess it was the only place that like was still hiring. Had more jobs coming in than were leaving. I did. We finished Fire Emblem on Sunday night. We stayed up late Sunday night. Finally finished it. What a blast it was. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Go Pause, and thanks for showing me your worm. I followed you on Twitter. Make sure you wear protection on your fingertips. I will do. I'm gonna watch some videos about this needle felting thing. Maybe I have a new hobby. We'll see. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so we're coming up, and we're gonna join those two together right there. Okay. And then... Oh, no, that won't work. You can't do it that way, you dingus. All right, see, so I already messed up. We're learning. Oh my gosh, what have I done here? Oh, I see what I did here. That's no big deal. Just accidentally snagged a little extra yarn there. All right, let's try that again. What's next is Adventure Island for NES, and then after that is Heroes of Might and Magic. And then after that is a TurboGrafx 16 game called Dragon's Curse that I thought was just the coolest game when I was like 16. Okay, we'll do our little chain here. Okay, and then we will purl two together for this reduction. Adventure Island's pretty cool. It was on a number of systems. It was probably an arcade game as well. It's this kind of, you're in a hurry platformer. There's this guy named Master Higgins, and you gotta save your girlfriend from some evil witch doctor or something. I don't really know what the story is, but it's a platformer where you'd like die instantly. You die in one hit if anything touches you, you like have to keep going and refill your little stamina bar with fruit or whatever, because if you don't, you just die. Not like Monkey Island. Not at all like Monkey Island. Although Monkey Island is also on my list of games I gotta beat, along with, King's Quest 6, King's Quest 3, Quest for Glory 1 and 3, Day of the Tentacle, Space Quest. Which was the Space Quest where you killed the thing with the fish? The rotten fish. Was that Space Quest? Was it Space Quest 6? I don't know. I would have to look through them to see which ones I recognize. Like, which of these games did I play? This is kind of hard with 3 double-pointed needles instead of 4. Needles are all kind of crowding me. Alright. These are also pokey. Okay, and then we'll do our 4th reduction right here. Alright, there we go. There's one. No, the first one did not have Dinosaur Friends Moose Bones. I believe 2 did, and I'm certain 3 did. I don't think number 1 did. We rented all of them from, Video Depot. And I kept thinking, like, this one I'll be good at this one, right? And I was never good at any of them. But the cover looked cool, I liked, look at this guy with this, on this island having exciting adventures. I want to play this, take it home, and just get mollywomped over and over in the first stage, because the game was kind of hard. I think 2 is probably the one I played the most as well. But I definitely did play all 3. It's funny how many of my games like that I played, I only ever played on NES. So... I played a ton of Mega Man 1 through 6. I didn't play Mega Man 7, though. I never played a Mega Man X game. So for a lot of people, they're like, oh man, I loved Mega Man X. And I'm like, I never played any of those. I just played 1 through 6. That's all we had was the NES. For the longest time. We never even got a Super Nintendo in my house. And by the time we got a Genesis, everyone else already had Nintendo 64s. And by the time we got a Nintendo 64, everyone else had PS2s. Or GameCubes. We were always a little bit behind the times. Except for one time. I got a system, a console, when it was like brand new. The first Christmas as it was out, I saved up so much money, so much couch change, and I asked for just cash for Christmas, and I asked for just cash for my birthday because I wanted to be on the leading edge, avant-garde, you know? And so I saved up and I bought myself a Tiger Gamecom. And, well, I was literally the only person in the world who did. Nobody else got a Tiger Gamecom. Tiger Gamecom was not cool. Everyone else got a Game Boy Color. 2001 to get a PS1, I did have a Gamecom. In fact, in the background there, among all those sprites, there's some Gamecom sprites in there. Oh yeah, I had Lights Out, and I had The Lost World. I never even got a third game. And it could hold 2 games at once, you know, you could put 2 cartridges in there. What a hunk of junk that thing was. You know, I filled out my address book with all the 2 friends I had. That's pretty late to getting a PS1. So are you talking about the little portable one then? Because I had that one too, with the little flip-up screen and the battery pack. And I used to go play it at college, like in the hallways while I was waiting for classes to start. And people would walk by and be like, is that dude playing Final Fantasy 7 in the hallway right now? Like, what is this? How is this happening? 2 months after PS2 came out, but I was pumped because I only had a Game Boy Pocket for that. Well, I mean, that's a pretty good upgrade from Game Boy Pocket to PS1. We had a PlayStation relatively, like, no, not relatively, like, we had PlayStation during its life cycle because we really wanted Metal Gear Solid. So me and like all my brothers, me and my brother just younger than me, we forced the younger ones to get on board with our plan to save up a bunch of money and then get one for Christmas, sort of for ourselves, so that we could play Metal Gear Solid on it. So we did have PS1 kind of in time, and we got our PS2 relatively in time too, just because a friend of mine bought one and then didn't play it, so he kind of sold it to me. We never rented any consoles, but like, I wanted to rent a Super Nintendo, we just couldn't afford it. Like, it was too much to rent it. You know, it was like $20 for a week or something like that. And that was just too much. My parents could afford the like $1.50 for the weekend rental. So we would just, you know, take our best guess and hope that the game we got wasn't garbage. Sometimes we get garbage, like that tarot card game. What was the name of that game? Gosh, that was such a waste of a rental. Or Deadly Towers. To this day, I'm still like mad at Deadly Towers because we rented it from Hollywood Video and it never worked. Couldn't get the thing to work the whole weekend. I still don't know what Deadly Towers is like. It's cool because my brother and I were given a bunch of games by friends who had gotten the 2. So we had, oh, nice. That is good. That's good. Yeah. Renting a Genesis. Oh man, was it the Rampage Edition? Jurassic Park Rampage Edition? I love that one where you can play as the raptor. That one's on my list. I had my issues with that Jurassic Park game though, because like, I mean, I had issues with the Jurassic Park movie, but like the Jurassic Park game, it's like you're Alan Grant, who's like a paleontologist, supposedly, but then it's like, here's a machine gun, shoot all the dinosaurs you see. I'm like, that doesn't really sound like a paleontologist. With a gun, yeah, he's just straight murdering dinosaurs. But I mean, I kind of felt that way about the movie too. So like when I was a kid, I was a dinosaur fanatic. I loved dinosaurs. I mean, I was like, what, 10 when Jurassic Park came out, or 11? And I was like a pedantic nerd about it. I was like, those aren't velociraptors, those are Deinonychus, you know, like I was dinosaur obsessed. So I was kind of mad at the movie when it came out. I didn't like Jurassic Park because the dinosaurs were monsters. And like, I grew up reading Dinotopia, you know? I wanted to coexist peacefully with dinosaurs. I didn't want them to eat me and to kill them. I was like frustrated with that movie. I was like, well, I like the part where I'm looking at the dinosaurs, but all the rest of it where they're killing the dinosaurs or getting killed by the dinosaurs, no thank you. That is not my thing. I think I was the only 11-year-old who didn't like Jurassic Park. Spielberg. It was basically just Jaws again, but with dinosaurs this time. Jawsosaurs. Jaws Jurassic Park, I guess. The intro to Rampage Edition has this really aggressive, in that very Genesis style. Legitimately scared me so much I couldn't play the game. I had that with, what game was it? Resident Evil 4 freaked me out so much the first time I played it. I was like, nah, I don't want to play this. Like, there was something about the open, rooms, like the non-take controls, the getting surrounded by zombies. I was like, I can't handle this. This is too much. Until my friend came over and was like, oh, Resident Evil 4, this game's so great. And I'm like, that game sucks. I don't want to play it. I wasn't like really terrified. I was like uncomfortable with it. And then he played it and showed me, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, now I'm kind of more on board with it now that I've seen someone else do it. Oh, Resident Evil 1 with the dogs in the windows terrified me. We had it on PC, and my brother made me play it at night. He's like, you have to play this game at night. And yeah, when those dogs jumped in the windows, like, I think I broke our computer console a little bit. We had one of those consoles where the little tray that had the keyboard on it, like, slid out on wheels. I think I, like, bumped it with my knee and, like, knocked it off the track. No thank you. Oh, man, that one, yeah, those dogs in the windows was a nightmare. And then in Resident Evil 2, I don't remember if I think it's A mission. I don't think it was in B. It may be like in B mission 2, but I think I was in A mission. And there's one part very, very near the end of the game. You're like in the final place, it's about to be like facing down William. And I got my little key card or whatever in the little frozen lab thing or something. And then it's like time to go say, nightly prayers with the family or something. So I hand the controller to my brother, and I'm like, hey man, get me to, back to the save room. And he's like, cool, because he's not coming to prayers with us. So go to prayers, I come back, and he's moved like 2 feet. And I'm like, David, you didn't even move, you jerk. This isn't the save room. Like, he literally like walked one screen from where I'd given him the controller. And then he hands me back the controller, and I take 2 steps, and a liquor falls out of the ceiling, and I lost it. I was like, oh! And he starts laughing. He's like, that's why I didn't take you back to the safe room. Got me so good. Stupid ceiling liquor. Some of them liquors, man. Ugh. And then that big guy in B mission. Stores. That was pretty freaky. But nothing was ever as freaky as the dogs in the windows. Nothing. This beanie pattern is a little bit slow. I don't know if it's worth the slowness. Like, I would just rather buy a colored yarn and knit a beanie regular. It would look more impressive than this. I was watching somebody else play the RE1 remaster, and they changed the Jill sandwich line. And he and Chat and I were all like, why would you? I don't even remember the Jill sandwich line. There was a Jill sandwich line? It's been a while since I played RE1. And admittedly, I was way more obsessed with 2. The whole A and B mission, Claire and Leon, I thought that was so cool. I played the heck out of some RE2. I played RE1 less, because I was still kind of mad about the dogs, like you said. Have not made it all the way back around. Why did I think I was almost all the way back around? I've literally done 1 needle so far. I knit so much slower when I'm streaming. I'm like, this is like half speed. I knit much faster when someone else is streaming and I'm watching. Well, I'm not watching, but listening. I preferred to play as Jill because I liked the extra inventory space. My brother preferred to play as Chris because, Chris is cool. But I didn't care about cool. I cared about that inventory space. And actually, in RE2, I liked Claire better too, because I liked the grenade launcher. I thought the grenade launcher was super cool. I didn't understand how the Magnum was cool when I was a kid. Now I understand how the Magnum's cool, but back then I thought the rocket launcher was way cooler than the Magnum. Put some acid rounds in that thing. Good times. Not for my enemies, but good times for me. When you're in the room with the descending ceiling... Oh, that's right, yeah. Like, immediately, yeah. The guy with the revolver saves you, and that chunky voice goes, "Good thing I got here. You were almost a Jill sandwich." Oh, man. All the voice acting back then was so bad. They weren't recording any of that stuff in studios. I mentioned it before. In Metal Gear Solid... like the original recordings, you can hear like cars on the street driving by and honking their horns and stuff. Like they recorded it in some dude's living room. Liquid, what are you doing? Beep beep. Even doing some of those like old raid instances in WoW, some of that voice acting, yikes. Like, what's her name? That Felmist. I can't remember her name before she turns into Felmist, but when she's killed by that pit lord, she's like, "Malagos, I did my best." It sounds so stupid. It's like, this person not understand the brief? Did they not tell her what she was voice acting? It sounds awful. Now I kind of want to make a sandwich, or a Jill sandwich clip. Kind of want to make a sandwich too. It's like I didn't even have dinner. You know what I think I will do is, I will not have a sandwich. I think I will have a beer. I have beer in my fridge. I think I'll have a beer. I only ever played Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. There were no SNES ones, so they were on NES. And MSX. So we had Metal Gear on NES, and then Snake's Revenge was also on NES, which was like Metal Gear Solid 2 here in the US, or not Metal Gear Solid 2, but Metal Gear 2 in the US. But that one's actually like Apocrypha. It's like non-canon. It's just like this weird thing that got made and exists, but isn't like really the main Metal Gear Solid storyline, or the main Metal Gear storyline. MSX versions, so that, you know, in Europe and Japan or wherever they had the MSX, they had Metal Gear, which was like kind of the same as the NES Metal Gear, and then they had Metal Gear 2 on MSX that we didn't get in the US. Like, it was not a game that got released here, and that's the canon one. But there were no Super Nintendo Metal Gear games that I know of. But we loved Metal Gear on the NES, which is why we wanted Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation. We're like, Metal Gear was so cool. And Snake's Revenge. I liked Snake's Revenge more than Metal Gear. Having a late dinner now. Spent most of the evening at the game shop playing Magic the Gathering. Well, that's cool. Were you just doing like a casual games or like a tournament or something? Man, there's something just still so much fun about just playing a game like that, just in person. It's sort of irreplaceable. I mean, a game I know how to play. I don't want to learn how to play some new crazy board game or card game that has a ton of rules. But Magic the Gathering, I already know the rules to that, so I'll play some Magic the Gathering. Yeah, there were some NES and MSX ones. Commander Open Play Night. What's Commander Open Play Night? I haven't played Magic the Gathering in 20 years. Well, that's not true. I did play, we played Chandelar on stream. An old 1997 gem of a game. Alright, that was our regular round, so now we'll reduce again. Same as we did it last time. Maybe. If I don't dork it up. Okay. Reduce, slip, knit, Put it back on, and then we're going to purl 2 together. Okay, and I need a sip of water. A different format. A singleton one, so you can have only one instead of... Oh, okay, interesting. It'd be pretty rough if you could only have one of each land. Interesting. I bet that makes... So, are you still doing like a 60 card deck, or are you taking it down to like 30 Hearthstone style? Because gosh, 60 like unique cards, except for, I don't know, 11 or 12 or 15 lands or whatever you got. That's got to make a deck pretty like a little unpredictable. Like maybe in a good way, like exciting, because gosh, you can get all kinds of cards if you don't have any duplicates. So I imagine it would add variety to the games, but a little volatility. Like your strategy for your deck is a little less predictable because you can't rely on drawing any card. I think I could be into that. 100! Whoa! Yeah! Okay, so super mega extra random. No kidding. 100 cards. Wow. Yeah, that would make for some wild games, I imagine. I imagine they'd be longer too. Like, it's probably pretty hard to get like quick kills with 100 cards and a bunch of random stuff. Which is, I prefer. I don't like games that are over in 3 turns. My brother-in-law loaned me and my brother some of his Magic the Gathering decks a few years so we could play with each other. And we just kept killing each other in like 3 turns. We're like, these decks are too powerful. Purely casual format, so no tourneys. Oh yeah, well that makes sense. Like you can't even really. It's like trying to speedrun a randomizer or something. Like you can't. How do you do that? It's like it's too random and weird. You still do competitive play, huh? That's cool. Not me. I did Chandelar. I took down that evil overlord. What was that thing called? Uber Fiend. I took down the Uber Fiend. He's in our boss slideshow somewhere. Or Uber Demon? I think it was called Uber Fiend. I think the thing's name was Uber Fiend. This kind of sounds like a track from Transistor. But I guess most lo-fi music kind of does sound like a track from Transistor. You build a synergy, but it's made so you can't just play 1 or 2 guys. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you would definitely try to like get nice and broad so that you could get combos and stuff. But yeah, you can't depend on them. You can't hang your hat on. Ooh, any turn now, I'm going to draw one of these, and then it's game over. A lot of adapting too. Like, okay, well, I'm going to have to make do with what the universe has given me here. I could be into it. You could almost play like without even knowing what was in the deck and have fun. A Goblin Hydra deck. My favorite deck that I had when I was a kid that I think still exists somewhere. I think like literally one of my brothers still has it somewhere. Was my rat deck. I loved my rat deck. It's full of rats. Oh my gosh, don't even get me. Oh man. Yeah, when I was playing Chandelar, it was Desru was like, hey, they've updated this with like modern cards from 2020 and whatnot. You can play that version of Chandelar. I downloaded it and played it and was immediately overwhelmed. I'm like, I don't know what any of these rules mean. Oh, those are 2 separate ones. Like, so Mega Goblin deck, Mega Hydra deck. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That'd be fun, Mega Goblin deck. You should make a Mega Rat deck, too. Oh gosh, don't come off. Wait, not yet. Okay, there we go. Whew. that one was threatening to slip off there. Oh yeah, rats and humans, huh? My rat deck was not like great. It didn't win a lot. It wasn't a well-designed rat deck. I mean, it was cobbled together from the parts I had and the rat cards nobody else wanted. But when it did win, it was fun. It was a fun way to win. To be like, haha, a horde of rats that are all way too buff. A bunch of little pestilence rats and plague rats that got out of control. This was like even before 7th edition. I mean, I first started playing Magic the Gathering in Revised. You know, back when like Fallen Empires was new. Go to the comic castle and buy a Arabian Nights expansion booster pack. 15 cards in it. I think I stopped even really buying Magic cards like after Ice Age. I think Ice Age was like the last time I bought a booster pack or a starter deck. And what was that? Was that in the 90s? That was a while back. Oop, bonk. A complete set of Fallen Empires. It was a gift from an ex's brother. It even has all the alternate arts. Wow. That's cool. How exciting. I had a friend, back then, who, he's still my friend. He wanted to, like, just for fun, collect an entire set of Pokemon cards. And so he did. He traded and bought, and he got himself a complete set of first edition, like, Pokemon cards. He was just doing it for fun, and I bet he still has that collection. And I'm like, gosh, what's that thing worth? I didn't know Pokemon was coming back. Might be worth some cash if Fallen Empires wasn't. Yeah. Some of those Fallen Empires cards were terrible. Like, I was excited to get them because I was like, oh, they're new. But yeah, they didn't feel very utile. Like, the creatures were all kind of wimpy, and the lands came into play tapped. It was like, ugh. Didn't really know how to use some of the cards. Yeah, I didn't like Fallen Empires. Not so much. My first ever Magic cards, I got two at the same time, were a revised Benelish Hero and a Throne of Bone that my brother's friend just like gave me. He's like he was opening a booster pack and those were in it. And he's like, these are garbage, and like threw them as we were walking down the sidewalk. And so I scooped them up like, woohoo, starting my Magic collection. And my first deck was a green deck that was just way too slow to ever get anything done. It's one of those kind of decks where, you'd heal yourself with Stream of Life twice for 7 and then die. Cast a Tranquility every once in a while. Okay, so that one was a reduction, right? Gosh, I'm not even keeping track of all what I'm doing to this beanie. Lake of the Dead and Force of Will are worth some cash, though. Oh, okay. Force is one of the best counter spells ever printed. I don't remember Force of Will. I don't remember Lake of the Dead either. It's been so long. Well, it's definitely getting smaller. It's becoming more of a pain to knit. This one sounds like a lo-fi version of a Final Fantasy X-2 track or something, like an airship track. Lakelets, use attack swamp for 4 black mana, and Force can be cast for free by exiling a blue card from your hand instead of paying its cost, so it's basically a free... Oh, okay. So you do like lose some value there because you're trading 2 cards for 1, but it's quite a tempo gain. If for like 0 mana you can counter a spell, that can be pretty rough for them. Especially if you cast like 2, or sacrifice 2 cheap cards, or for monster one of theirs. I mean, and yeah, it's like Lake's the same way. It's like a tempo move, not a value move, but. If you're moving quickly, that's what you want. Oh my gosh, it's already 10:30. Here I had it in my head thinking like, I might be able to finish this Beanie on stream and then I'll need something to do with the rest of the time. Like, yeah, right. 10:30 already. Been going for 2 hours. Maybe we'll finish this Beanie if I feel like it. If I don't get too tired. Oh wow, we're actually already right there. It's a little weird to do a reduction on the first stitch, but it's fine. This is fine. We can do it. Just kind of like, more shit. And we'll just move a stitch next time around. It'll be fine. I mean, if I'm just knitting like simple garter stitch, it goes pretty fast. But the second you introduce a little cable like this, it slows things down immeasurably. But yeah, that's true. I don't knit for speed. I don't speed knit. I'm never in a hurry with my knitting. In fact, this is like the 5th time I've made this beanie with this yarn, because I've unmade it that many times because it was not up to snuff yet. This is the first one that has satisfied some of what of a standard. And even now I'm like, I could make this thing better, but I have promised myself that I would not undo it again, that I would just close this thing up and move on with my life. I do that a lot. It really bothers people sometimes to be watching me knit for a long time and then just watch me just start taking it apart, because it comes apart in seconds. What took me like hours to do. They're like, why would you do that? I'm like, well, I was just practicing. It's part of the process. And they're like, I thought it looked great. I would have taken it. Oh yeah, yeah. If I took these needles out, this thing would just go broop, like a cartoon, and it'd come right apart. Here, I'll show you. On my, not on this one, I'm not gonna take this apart, but here. On my ugly scarf. Or, yeah, ugly scarf here. We'll pull some of it apart. Why not? Just for fun. Yeah, it just comes right apart. Look at that. Whoop. Kind of fun. Like, it vibrates as it comes apart. It's got kind of a satisfying feeling to it. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll have like one of my kids hold the string and then like walk away from me, you know, do the Weezer. If you want to destroy my sweater, woo woo woo. I mean, you see, that's coming apart pretty quick there. No, not really. So like, I mean, you could. But like your standard knitting and your standard crochet come apart pretty easily, especially with a yarn like of any reasonable size. Now smaller yarns, they get like kind of snarled together and don't come apart very easily. And if you're doing like some fancy stuff or using two colors, doing some fair isle knitting or something, that will not just come apart, and it'll get all tangled up, and you have to, it's a whole deal. But yeah, just standard knitting and crochet comes right apart. Oh, come here, you. Quite easily. That whole, you know, the Weezer song, if you want to destroy my sweater. I mean, a sweater is usually sewn together from multiple parts, so you probably couldn't actually unravel a whole sweater like they do in cartoons. But you could unravel quite a bit of it. Ooh. As I walk away. Alright, now I have to get the needle back in through all those loops and redo it, but whatever. Oh, maybe that's what my mom does. I have a blue and orange scarf that I swear is bulletproof. Yeah, so if it's got two colors, generally there's some like crossing that will happen that will make it not just come apart really easily. It won't just like smoothly come apart. It will still come apart pretty well, but as soon as those colors start to cross, they'll get stuck in each other. So then at that point you'll have to like untangle them, switch the color you're pulling on. But I mean, even though it can come apart that easily like that, when something is constructed, when it's done, it's not going to just fall apart if you did it right. Okay, I need to move. I need another stitch marker. This one's like, the place it's in is like, I don't like it. What am I doing? Let's just put it up here like this. Okay, now how many stitches do I have on each needle here? It should be like a total of 97 minus 24, so we should have 73 stitches total. 15 years. Yeah, this stuff. I have a blanket from when I was a baby that's still together that my mother crocheted. Should be 73. I won't be surprised if it's not. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That doesn't bode well. Maybe I already shrank it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, it looks like we're going to hit 61. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so we have hit 62, which we shouldn't have. But whatever. That just means there's like one extra stitch somewhere. I'm not going to go hunting for it. I don't care that much. Okay, and we just did... Oh, you know what? Actually, I might be able to find it. I think I know where I didn't do that. Did I do a reduction there? I think I didn't do, like, my most recent one was supposed to be a reduction, and I didn't. Can't really tell. But it doesn't look like there's 2 on there. Yeah, in fact, I think we can just go right back and do the reduction I missed. And then we'll actually be right on track. Just gotta undo a few knits here. And let's see if I'm correct. I mean, if I get back there and that's not the case, I'm gonna be silly, but we'll just add an extra reduction somewhere. Nobody will ever know. That actually weirdly happens a lot. I think something in my subconscious like senses it, because often when I make mistakes, I just made them. Like, I just made them very recently. It's rare that I find one that I made like 4 rows ago. It's usually like the most recent one, I'm like, I messed it up. And it's like some part of my brain is like, bro, you didn't do your reduction. You were supposed to do a reduction there and you didn't do it. So I don't know, something triggers and I'm like, let's check and see how I'm doing. And oh, I messed up. Or, you know, when I make a mistake a long time ago, I just can't ever find it again, so. Oh, look, no, see, I didn't even make a mistake there. So I'm just talking a bunch of nonsense. That one I did reduce. Now, how about the one before it? Yeah, the one before I definitely reduced. So I just missed one somewhere and don't know where it was. Here, I'll just do another one right here to make it even. There. Now it's going to be the right amount of stitches. Yeah. I am markedly worse at knitting while I'm streaming, but I'm also markedly worse at playing video games while I'm streaming. Imagine that. Trying to read chat and talking and just, you know, making sure everything's working. There's no such thing as multitasking, right? There's just doing multiple tasks poorly. Yeah, I imagine so. Although I've heard some like speedrunners say that it's easier for them to speedrun while they're live and chat is going because it helps them like keep their conscious mind off the speedrun. Like speedruns work better if it's all muscle memory. So if they can keep their mind kind of distracted with chat, then they do better with their muscle memory on their game. Like I doubt that feeling is universal for speedrunners, but I mean, hey, here's a speedrunner. Let's ask him. What's going on, Zero Counts? Good evening, Zero Counts and Zero Counts Raiders. My name is Mickey Dad Red. I take care of kids. I play all video games and I make stuff out of yarn. Look, I'm making stuff out of yarn right now. Incoming gaming buddies. Oh, it must have been community night. Hey, thanks for that follow, Audax Smoke, and for that side hook. Incoming Mickey buddies. What's up, Spiffs? Hey, Enigma Wave. Proto Man. Where's Big Chungus? No Big Chungus? Oh man, I was laughing so hard at that last night. Hey, what's going on? Mew the Shadow. Meow the Shadow. We're working on getting rid of some yarn. I have too much yarn. This is a Sidewinder beanie here. Just a little beanie with a little texture on it that spirals up and around the crown of the beanie. Was it a community night there, Zero? Were you playing Mario Kart with the friends? I should do that one of these days. I have Mario Kart, you know, and a Switch and all that. Of course, before I friend you on Nintendo Switch, I'm going to change my account name. The Proto Man. How's Rockman? Are Proto Man and Rockman friends? We had one of my friends, one of my regulars, Melly, that Zero calls the other Melly because he's got a Melly regular in his channel. She shared with us once a shirt that she had that was a picture of Mega Man. And she's like, the writing's in Japanese though, so I don't know what it says. And one of our viewers is like, well, I read Japanese, let me see it. So I pulled it up in Discord and he's like, it says Mega Man. Which is weird because in Japan he's Rockman. So why does it say Mega Man in Japanese? Hey, what's going on, Lolo Guru? No Big Chungus fan. Yeah, see, I'm going to be the Big Chungus fan. I'm going to change my Switch name to Big Chungus fan. Sarah's going to come home and be like, what is Big Chungus? Are you talking about that fat Bugs Bunny? Oh, whoops. Incoming Octo Beanie Buddies. You know, I just recently got reminded by Zero that I never made a frozen Octo the huge. So just like a week ago, I farmed that sprite. I went and got the frozen Octo the huge sprite. So I can make my rare, exclusive frozen Octo beanie one of these days. As soon as I finish all these million other projects. You were the worst racer tonight, Spiffs? What character were you playing? You gotta play Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is best. Lakitu, huh? That's not Donkey Kong. I don't know how you expected to win playing not Donkey Kong. Because he's ugly like me. You should make a Lakitu VTuber. Actually, Nintendo would probably crack down on that, huh? I doubt Nintendo would let a Lakitu VTuber thrive. I don't know. I have like a little Super Mario Bros. Emote. Nintendo hasn't come down on me for that yet. Dry bones all day. My kids play Wario and Shy Guy, and Sarah is always Yoshi. The little guy, the 6-year-old, he I don't think he has a favorite yet. Yeah, I mean, actually he likes Luigi. Luigi is his thing. He kind of defaulted to Luigi because we took care of another kid, one of the kids we had in foster care. They were like roommates. He was a few years older than him. He was Mario obsessed. And so then our 6-year-old, the 6-year-old we still have, was like trying to be Mario obsessed too. Like, well, because the 8-year-olds loves Mario, so I love Mario too. But then the 8-year-old like pushed back, like, no, we can't both be Mario fans. Like, I'm the Mario fan. So then the 6-year-old was like, well, then I'm a Luigi fan. Yoshi fam. Got another Yoshi mainer, huh? Yeah, there's like, you can't see it, but over there, my wife's collection of stuffies, quite a few Yoshis in there. In fact, for our anniversary a few years ago, I got her a little Yoshi sculpture from a Twitch streamer who does sculptures. A little blue Yoshi. Super cute. Used to always play Waluigi, of course, but too many Waluigis online. Oh, really? Waluigi's too popular online, huh? You liked Waluigi before it was cool, though, right? You know, I joke with my kids. I'm like, you hear people say that all the time. They're like, I liked it before it was cool. But you never hear anybody say, I liked it after it was cool. Which would mean a whole lot more, I think. No one plays Iggy. You had Yoshi cake toppers at your wedding? All right. Just for that. You get one of these.
Please, these boys sound very nice, but they're clearly nerds.
We had, at our wedding, what did we have? We had little fake flowers. We had little flowers. And it was funny because, you know, we had like, it was a cheap wedding. We were like both Marines. We like came back to the U.S., got married in her mom's backyard. Like, we didn't know 2/3 of the people at the wedding. And Sarah was like in charge of everything, and I was like, that's fine, you know, that's cool. You can be in charge of everything, like no sweat. Like, there wasn't even a lot to be in charge of. Like, she made the cake and she picked the flowers and stuff, and I picked I helped set up the chairs. That was like my thing, right? Vane was trying to argue that I was not a nerd in this. You got my vote for nerd 0. You see Roy's a lot, but not Iggy's. So like, just arbitrarily, like, I told Sarah, I was like, fine, but I want to be in charge of the cake top. Whatever goes on top of the cake, I want to be in charge of that. And she's like, okay, that's your thing. That's the thing you're in charge of. And I was like, yes. Like, I didn't really care. I just picked it at random. Like, I'm going to be in charge of whatever goes on top of the cake. So then she brings me these 2 little, like, rosebuds. These little fake, you know, silk rosebuds or whatever. And she's like, okay, put these on top of the cake. And so I walk over and I, like, plop them in the top of the cake like they're growing out of the cake. And she goes, no, wrong. And pulls them both out of the cake and then sets them on their sides delicately and is like, you're done here, leave. So the one thing I was in charge of, I immediately wrecked and was fired. It's actually a pretty prescient incident, I guess. Really set us up for the rest of our marriage. She just couldn't even imagine that I was going to do it that way. So she let me do it. Then once I did it, she was like, I can't, what? No, I can't live with this. Totally messed it up. It was great. Oh, man. I try not to be that guy. I try not to be the guy who, like, can't do stuff. I try to be the guy who can do stuff. But there are some things. Occasionally, Sarah asks me a thing. She's like, how do you do this? And I'm like, I would ask you. I don't know how to answer that, because if I ran into this problem, I would go, Sarah, how do I do this? It's like she wants to know how to change some setting on social media. I'm like, okay, yeah, right. Thanks, Enigma. Like in my mind, they were growing out of the cake. That is not how it was in her mind. No, I didn't get to pick what was going on top of the cake. Someone had little silk flowers lying around, so that's what was going on top of the cake, and I put them in the cake wrong, or I put them on the cake wrong. I messed it up. oh yeah, it's this one right here that's got the, right at the beginning. Here, let's slip another stitch or two onto this one. Oh, we got plenty of room. We can slip a couple. Come here, you. Put 3 on there just for fun. Next time you have a community night there, Zero, bug me to join. I'll go kick the kids off the Switch and show y'all how Donkey Kong does it. Or, you know, thoroughly embarrass myself. I like Mario Kart. I like that Mario Kart 8 too, which is weird, I know. Mickey Dadrad playing a game that came out this millennium. But I don't find it too maniacal. The first time I saw it, I thought this is a nightmare because I was watching someone else play it and they were playing it single player. So the first time, like, the screen flipped like sideways and upside down, I was like, nope, I'm never playing that garbage. That's terrible. But then once it was multiplayer or I was driving, it was fine. I didn't have any problem with the track turning or the screen turning when I was driving. It was just watching someone else do it was like a major problem for me. And I like that game. It's like not too wild. It's like plays just like Mario Kart. Feels just like Mario Kart to me. I played a ton of Mario Kart 64, original Mario Kart, the Game Boy Advance one, and Double Dash, you know. So I still like Mario Kart. But like the new Smash Bros, I cannot play that. That game is just too much chaos for me. It drives me bananas. I'm losing the head. Too dark. Not good at 8, sure I could be, but Double Dash is so deeply ingrained. Yeah, I played a ton of Double Dash. I kind of still prefer Double Dash, I think, to 8, but I mean, I would rather play 8 with people than play Double Dash alone. But I feel that way about most games. Most games except for Smash Bros. Just rather not play that. I like gaming, needlepoint, and music. The gaming I enjoy is Mario, puzzle, racing, and game show. The music I enjoy is anything that's a jam. The needlepoint I do, plastic canvas. I want to say I'm fast and a pro at it. It's amazing to see guys who do like it. Like the first yarn craft I ever did was plastic canvas. I loved plastic canvas. I thought it was so cool. I never made anything exciting, but I enjoyed doing it. A couple like months ago, my brother-in-law sent me a text or like a link, I don't know, a Tumblr or whatever, of a guy who makes he makes all the Minecraft blocks in plastic canvas. He makes little Minecraft, dirt blocks and stuff like that. It's great. Welcome in, Amanda Zachariah. I also like Mario Puzzle Racing and Game Show. Actually, I don't know if I really play much racing or game show. I did play Mario Kart on stream. We had to beat Mario Kart 64. Usually what we do on this channel is play games that I played when I was a kid but never finished. Games I never beat as a kid. So I'm like finally coming back and beating them. But we've also had a few Yarncraft streams of late. We've been just knitting, making beanies. We actually have on the channel here Beanie Quests, where you can earn yourself a beanie. And that's not what this is. This is just me getting rid of yarn. But the new Smash is a lot, especially since I'd only played the original and Melee. Yeah, that's the same for me, Jim BZ. I played original and I played Melee, and like Melee was pushing it with the chaos. So this new one, I was like, I'd just rather be playing N64. This is just but I think it's also like a worsted, a size 4 yarn that just somebody gave me. Like that's most of the yarn I have now, Amanda, is just yarn people gave me. I originally started crocheting because my sister-in-law left some yarn at my house, and I was like, well, I don't want to throw away perfectly good yarn, so I'm gonna like go on YouTube, learn how to crochet, and make a scarf out of this or something. But then someone saw me crocheting the scarf and was like, oh, you crochet? Here's 500 skeins of yarn. And I'm like, and then everyone else did it, so now I got an entire closet full of yarn. So I don't. This is just yarn. I'm just getting rid of it. Somebody gave it to me, and I'm just getting rid of it. It's a size 4. It's purple. It's not acrylic. It's definitely a wool, or it's like a mixture. Feels like a bit of wool, bit of acrylic. It's nice enough. Yeah, the color's great. I like that color. It's very like, it's almost amethyst. We're making a Sidewinder beanie. This is my first Sidewinder. You can see it's got these little Sidewinders. So it's like half experimental. A lot of my yarn work is experimental. I like to experiment. I don't think I've ever made the same thing twice, except for those Octo beanies. I made 5 of those Octo beanies that were identical. Thanks. Do you ever do your plastic canvas on stream? Because I'd watch. I love me some crafty. Crafty streams. I think. Come here, you. We're gonna pull that one off there. We need an extra one on here. I'm just trying to close this one up. It's coming kind of to the end of the ball here, and so I'm just gonna shut this one up. If I have enough for a little poof on top, I'll put it on there. If not, I'll add it to my ugly scarf. I'll show my ugly scarf again. When I do my amigurumis or knitting or whatever I'm doing, and I have little bits of yarn left over, I tie them all into one mega disgusting ugly ball of yarn that I'm currently knitting into a scarf for my kiddo who loves ugly things. Oh, you used to do craft stream? That's cool. It's tough, huh? Like, actually, so if you look on the title for the stream there, it says 37 out of 150. I know, Melly, I'm like winding down, but you'll like this one. It's purple. Oh, you were here earlier. I hope your murder show was good. So that 37 out of 150 there, that's how many streams I've done this year, because I made a New Year's resolution to do 150 streams this year because it's tough. Like, I want to do it, but it's so easy for me not to do it that it makes it hard to do it, because it's not that it's hard to stream, it's just so much easier not to stream. Just went to shut off the computer to go to bed. I think I'm going to go to bed as well. I got a big day tomorrow. Got a lot of cleaning to do. I'm going to close this up later off stream. But when we come back, I think I'm going to come back on Sunday night. Maybe not. Maybe we'll have to wait till Monday. But we're going to be doing Adventure Island for the NES. That's the next game in the queue. And thanks, Zero, and thanks for the raid. Thanks for coming by. Always a pleasure. We got a couple of raids tonight. Thanks for the raids. Who else raided us? We got a raid from Basecamp Foster and Moose Bones. Good times. Thanks for the new follows, the friends. Hey, you too, Amanda. Thanks for hanging out. And here, let me hit my little sign off thing. Let's see if we can't get some bonus raidishes. Help everybody on their beanie quest. Let's get another dancing little Pikachu in here. Why not? Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga, no. Oh no, wait, that didn't work. Hang on, we have to do it again because the desktop audio got turned off before I did it. Hang on, we need the Miami sound machine for that to work. There we go. Shake your body, baby, do that conga, no, you can't control yourself any longer. Hey, Melly's got a different dancing Pikachu than the one we saw earlier. Fantastic. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga, no, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you got that conga beat. Yeah. Oh, and a Gloria Estefan fan too? We're going to be good friends, Amanda. Oh, anybody need a disco ball in World of Warcraft? Loopy Walrus is doing the drops. Thanks for that follow, Amanda, and for that sweet side duck. I don't know that game. We haven't rated Ryan in a while. Let's go say hi to Ryan. Looks like he's playing some Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. What does this say? Prepping for the inevitable release of Echoes Remaster. Oh, thanks, Amanda. You're cool too. I'm Mickey. Give Ryan the Mickey Dad raid for me. And have a lovely weekend, everybody. I got a busy, exciting weekend planned for myself, but hopefully I'll be okay. I am cool. You hush. Good night, everybody.